up to the boxing.
What do you think about Wilder's comments that Fury should step aside to fight the winner of you two? When you heard that, what did you think?
How come we didn't say that? How come we didn't say that before the Ruiz fight? But, you know, it's good. He's talking about boxing. It's what he does. Respect to him. Good luck to him.
Those are the words of Anthony Joshua. He was asked about how he feels about Deontay Wilder fighting the winner out of him and Ruiz. And he stopped. He said, well, why didn't he say that shit before the Ruiz fight? You see what I mean? See, even Joshua, and Joshua's don't really talk a lot of shit. He's just asking a question that we've both been debating. You know, a lot of us been saying that same shit. Like, the first thing that popped in his mind was, why are you just now saying you want to fight the winner out of that when you've pissed and moaned, you've talked shit, you've boasted and complained about fighting Fury, and I want to fight Fury, and I want to right my wrongs, and I want this, and I want that. I want to do these fights in advance. But then soon as that shit happened with Joshua, then, oh, I want to fight the winner out of Ruiz, and Tyson Fury should step aside. See, look, this is so apparent that the type of shit that Wilder does, you can see it with your eyes closed on what's happening. You know, he feels that either this is what can happen. Either way, Deontay Wilder wanted that fight because of this. One, he's either confident more now that he can beat Joshua, or two, he really feels that Ruiz is going to beat Joshua, so I should fight Ruiz because I'm going to be viewed as the A side of things. Because he knows if Joshua wins, and we'll see when that, we'll cross that bridge when it happens, because, I'm not really set in stone. If he does see Joshua, a different Joshua, that might deter him from wanting to fight him, which, we have to see. We have to see if he has that same energy. My guess, he doesn't, or he won't. He won't have that same energy. He won't be that same guy that says, I want to be undisputed, one face, one champion, one name. We don't know. He might be that default backdated Deontay Wilder at that point. Oh, well, it ain't about the belts no more. I'm the number one. I don't even need the belts. Okay. But at that point, you're going to get exposed. You're going to get figured out. And you will be counterpunched because you knew, or you figured, that Andy Ruiz will do the same thing. See, if Joshua beats Ruiz and he does it like in a dominating fashion, Wilder will have to fight him. If he doesn't, he's going to look bad. Why? Because, excuse me, because Wilder knows, or Wilder doesn't like the idea of a fighter looking good and taking a fight like that. Because then he'll start questioning himself like, okay, well, what will this fight produce? What will be my strategy for fighting Joshua? I think he'll start questioning himself again. Honestly, I think if Joshua beats Ruiz, he'll start questioning himself like, well, shit, can I really beat this guy now? You know what I mean? Because if Ruiz beats him again, his ego is going to boost because he's going to take credit for that shit himself as though he did it like he did when Ruiz beat him the first time, right? He took all kind of credit. He was skinning and grinning, high five, chest bumping, dapping up Ruiz and shit like, oh, we did it. Go team PBC. Go team Heyman. God bless Al. He was doing all that shit. But if Joshua wins, that's the big question mark. And I want to see him. I want to see Joshua win only for that reason. Sure, I know Joshua was a good champion. He was a good champion when he was champion. He did a lot. He did a lot to get those fucking belts. It was levels and steps that he took to get those belts. So I can appreciate him for that reason, wanting them back. And two, he's a good champion. But for three, it's an ongoing thing with Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. You don't all of a sudden change tunes of what your career path is going to be due to someone else's fight. See, that's Anthony and Ruiz's thing. He has nothing to do with that. But, oh, ho, ho, he makes himself pretty much a factor in that particular fight. Why? Because he's not in the spotlight no more. His fight with Luis Ortiz is not really talked about. Showtime dropped that shit because it wasn't profitable for them. Fox picked it up, thank God to him, right? They supposed to be giving Ortiz $7 million, which is great to him. I hope that's the case because he deserves it. We've counterpunched all that. However, that's not the fight that people are talking about. That's not the fight that people are interested in at all. They're not interested. They weren't interested in Tyson Fury, Wileen either. It just so happened that was a good fight and it was some drama and, you know, struggle behind that fight. But nobody even showed up at the fucking thing. They didn't even sell. They didn't even sell a quarter of what they wanted to sell. You know, why do you think Fury's doing all this WWE shit now? They're doing it because they want to bring attention to Tyson Fury because there is no interest other than Joshua Ruiz. The numbers don't lie, people. You know, so Deontay knows that. He knows that I have to make myself relevant. I have to talk. I have to speak about Joshua because I know Joshua is a threat because they is still, even though he took a loss and lost all the belts, he is still the center of attention in the heavyweight division and boxing overall, him and Ruiz. And Deontay Wilder, the attention whore that he is, he wants a part of that attention. And that's plain and simple. But if Anthony Joshua wins, just like Anthony said, well, where the hell was he at? Why wasn't he saying that before then? So that tells he's smelling that shit too. It's called bullshit, okay? Because he already knows that he had all this opportunity to fight me. Now he wants to fight the winner. Why now? That's the question that Anthony Joshua asked. That's the question that everyone else on this side of the street was asking, okay? But it just goes to show you that when it brought to the attention, that's the first logical thing that pops in people's mind, including Anthony Joshua. Where the fuck was he when I wanted to fight this guy? When John Skipper was offering him all this money on the table that he knew it was real, he knew it existed, he seen the contract, right? His people seen the contract, and what was the excuse? It's one of the lamest fucking things I ever heard. What is Joshua getting? Case closed. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Anthony Joshua's question. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.